about to do it there. Hello, good people. Hi there. Jason here with Green Country Agroforestry. Today's a mighty hot day. I'm getting ready to retire back here to the grape arbor. Why don't you join me? Yep, it's nice and cool in here. Alright, now it's nice and cool in here for the next hour or so because I've just turned on the sprinklers. Wow, all the little insects are just really happy about that. I turned on the sprinklers and wet down everything around the grape arbor, so it's going to be evaporating and dropping the temperature for just a little bit. But I wanted to show you this. I was out there weeding in the garden this morning before it got too incredibly hot, and I discovered this little strawberry. I was anticipating getting a strawberry this late in the season, but I'm not going to complain. Today I want to talk about a superpower that everyone has. If you're watching this video, you have a superpower. You probably didn't even know it. And it's called the power of creation. Every human being has this power. Every human being has this ability. You don't have to go through an initiation. You don't have to be from some special bloodline. You don't have to have special tools or items or anything else to utilize the power of creation. As a matter of fact, you are using it right now. You've been using it your entire life, and it functions whether you intend for it to function or not. How does it work? Well, that's very simple. As you go about your day, every thought that you have, every action that you take, every action that you don't take, contribute to the creation of the world that you live in and inhabit. Not only is it the world that you live in, it's the world that I live in too. So it's a sort of a shared and cooperative sort of creative effort. Now, whenever you make conscious decisions to say, look, I'm going to change my circumstances, I'm going to plant a tree. There's a tree over there. A few years ago, I made the conscious decision, I'm going to plant that pecan tree. Whenever you do that, your world changes. But trees that aren't planted, they never grow. Vines that aren't tended, aren't nurtured, they never produce or yield abundantly. Right? Fruit that isn't shared becomes waste and decay and attracts pests. All of these things are true, and all of these things that you discover in the garden because they're self-evident truths that are revealed in nature. Now, the most important thing to remember about the power of creation is that all creation begins in the mind. If you never had it in your mind to produce an environment where one can live beside one's own fig trees and under the shade of one's own grapevines, if that thought never entered your mind, you can never experience these things, can you? Unless it's by some sort of an accident. You see, it's exactly the same for any conscious being as it is for the ultimate creator. Every act of creation begins in the mind. There's no escaping it. If you make up your mind, I'm not going to go outside and tend my garden today. Well, that's an act of creation. And your garden will reflect it. If you make up your mind, I'm going to go out in my garden and I'm going to tend and dress my vines today. Well, that's also an act of creation. And your garden will reflect it. Every decision that you make and every action that you make, day in, day out, over the course of time, have the cumulative effect of creating your reality. A few years ago, I had it in my mind that I'd like to have a bur oak, Quercus macrocarpa. Look at these. They're huge palmate leaves that this oak tree produces. Well, a couple of years ago, I planted it. Now it's here. This year, it actually started producing acorns, which is kind of a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting it. They didn't last, of course, but it made them. Have a look over here. Over there, we've got an Ozark plum, a huge Jerusalem artichoke, and jujube trees. Let's have a closer look at those guys. You know, a lot of the country is in the grips of a drought right now. It's the most horrible thing. Whenever you were relying upon water systems and rainfall and the aquifer to remain stable, well, sometimes it just doesn't. And it's useful to know what you can do whenever nature turns. Well, here's an example of a tree that's adapted to more arid conditions. This is called Sisyphus jujube. And in more arid climates, I would go ahead and allow these fruits to finish ripening up on the tree. But whenever they begin to turn the brownish color here, that's whenever they're beginning to ripen. So I'm going to pick them now. Now here are some ripening jujube fruits. As they get riper, they'll get fully brown, they'll get wrinkly, they'll dry up. And then, like I said, in arid climates, that can happen on the tree. But because we are living on a river bottom and we do get more moisture here, especially in the mornings and the evenings, in order to prevent them from going nasty, because there's a lot of sugar that concentrates in these, I'm going to go ahead and pick them and let them ripen up indoors in a paper bag. But of course, none of this happens without first having the idea, hey, I would like to have this. We're not wealthy. We don't earn a whole lot of money. YouTube is not a grand business for us. I don't sell a lot of products. There aren't a lot of views for most of these videos. But day by day, bit by bit, block by block, and sometimes tree by tree, we're transforming our yard from a mess of grass and weeds into a garden. And, well, those fruits are delicious. Good people, I hope you found today's video informative or entertaining. If you did, you know what to do. I'll catch you next time. Until then, get out there and use your power of creativity to get growing.